Hi everyone, I'm Pedro, and in this video we're going to look at some tips to help you with note completion questions in the IELTS listening section. Unlike the form completion question we saw in a previous video, the note completion questions can be seen in any of the 4 IELTS listening sections. Before we go through these tips for the note completion questions, let's remind ourselves of some basic rules for the listening test. So when you listen, remember the words you hear are the ones you need to write, and you will hear the same information in the same order. You won't hear the same words that you read in the questions, and make sure you write the words exactly as they're said. For example, if it's singular, write the singular word. If it's an adjective, write the adjective. Don't change anything. And remember, words must be spelled correctly. So let's look at an example of a note completion question. As with all IELTS questions, the first thing you should do is look at the instructions. This will tell you how many words and numbers you will need to provide. If you write more words than is necessary, your answer will be marked wrong. Also keep in mind that if you need to write a number, write it in figures. Next, check to see if you can see a title. This can help you understand the question, and it can give you a clue as to the type of information that will be coming up. In this case, you'll be listening to something about the National Arts Centre. Think about what you might expect to hear. What is it? When was the National Arts Centre opened? What does it show or exhibit? How much does it cost to get in? What about times? When does it open? Try and predict your answers. This will help you focus your mind on what to listen out for. I would also try using your real-world knowledge if possible. As mentioned a moment ago, this question seems to be about an art centre. We all know about museums and galleries in some way, so perhaps this knowledge may help you. Look at the gaps and think about what predictions you could make. Question 11 looks a little difficult to predict, but for question 12 it seems like we will need the name of a facility or room. For question 13 we can see was before the gap, so we probably need a verb in the past. It looks like we need a date for number 14, and for number 15 we need to think about who or what would be responsible for managing an art centre. We could probably predict that a number will be needed for the last question. Think about synonyms and paraphrasing. I mentioned before how the words you read in the questions may not be the words you hear. Is there anything that stands out here? Can you think of another way to say well known or managed by? What about days per year? Be careful with distractors, as they can change the information that you hear. You might think you heard the answer, but words like but or however could change the information you think is correct. Now, if after all these tips you're still not sure about the answer, just guess. Never leave a blank space. If you guess, you never know, you may get lucky and get the right answer. However, if you leave the space blank, you will definitely get no marks. And that's all for now. I hope these tips have been useful. Good luck and see you in the next video.